Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Walks and Wall Street. Today we are reporting live from West 96th Street on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Today we're going to be doing a complete walking tour of the Upper West Side. You're going to see so many different shops, coffee shops, restaurants, and most importantly, amazing architectural integrity of some of the buildings here. We'll go all the way down to 72nd Street and Central Park West. Check out the Dakota, which is one of my personal favorite buildings on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And then we'll end the stream with a video at 59th Street, Columbus Circle. So let's get started. We are now headed southbound on Columbus Avenue. One of the things I love about the Upper West Side is it's very community oriented. It's very quiet up here, and you're gonna have a lot of tree-lined streets. So you're gonna have a really nice canopy, right? So if you think about being downtown, Lower Manhattan, you're Chinatown, there's really no trees that are aligned along the streets. So particularly in the summer, it's gonna be really, really hot. The temperature is gonna be crazy, but not so much here on the Upper West Side, which is good. Seems to be a maze of scaffolding. As you could tell, it's a very dog-friendly neighborhood, which is great. Very conveniently located on 92nd Street. It's going to be a Trader Joe's. So if you're thinking about moving to the neighborhood, you have tons of places to go grocery shopping. This is a very famous establishment in Manhattan. There's tons of locations all over the city, and it's great that they have one on the Upper West Side. Now, as we get down into the 80s towards Central Park West, so if you make a left, there's going to be a lot of the original brownstone buildings that are very unique to the Upper West Side. But it seems like the 90s, every single building is totally covered in scaffolding. You could even see the grocery store across the street. Everything is covered. Definitely a lot more than last year. Now that, what we're looking at now, is an apartment building that is directly on Central Park West. So you can only imagine the amazing views some of the residences have, overlooking not only the Upper West Side of Manhattan, but Central Park and all the way down to New York City's Billionaires Row. Now, as we approach 90th Street, if you keep your eyes peeled on the top left-hand corner of the screen, you'll be able to see all the way to New York City's Billionaires Row, particularly Central Park Tower and 220 Central Park South. Now, Central Park Tower is an X-Tail development put on by Gary Burnett, and 220 Central Park South is Vornado. You're going to notice a lot of different bodegas as we head down towards 79th Street. There's pretty much going to be one on every other block, which is great, particularly if you live here. Now, in my opinion, the best restaurants on the Upper West Side are either on Columbus Avenue, which we're walking down now, or Amsterdam, right in the 80s, starting right around 85th Street. We'll walk past some of them today. This is one of them. It's called Bella Luna. Lots of nice outdoor dining space. And again, you'll see a lot of the beautiful architecture of the Upper West Side. We'll see as much as we can because, as we know, tons of scaffolding in the neighborhood, which I guess is to be expected, right? Because a lot of these are pre-war and very older buildings. So it's probably come due for some remodeling. We'll probably be doing some resurfacing of the facade. This is a really good shot here. You can see the water tower up on the top of the building there. All of the pre-war buildings with the fire escapes. All brick and mortar. It looks really good when the sun is shining on it. We'll quickly make a left on West 87th Street, just so you could see the facades of some of these gorgeous brownstones on the Upper West Side. And again, notice the very, very well-covered canopy you have here on all of the side streets, which keeps the neighborhood very cool. Now, we were just on Columbus Avenue, and once I turned down 87th Street, it's probably at least 5 to 7 degrees cooler here. Look at the beautiful brownstones. This one appears to be for sale. You can tell when a lot of these brownstones have been resurfaced or remodeled. I'm talking about the facades. Very nicely done, this one. This is 125 West 87th Street. We'll head back to Columbus Avenue, and then we'll head down. I just wanted to show you all some of the classic brownstones on the Upper West Side. We're coming up on West 86th Street. This is one of the main subway stops. If you make a right, that'll lead you to the entrance of the 1 train. And you could take that either up or downtown. If you look all the way down 86th Street at Central Park, and if we turn the camera all the way around to the other side and head all the way west, that'll run you into Riverside Park. And for me, that's one of the main selling points of living on the Upper West Side. Not only do you get to take advantage of Central Park as your backyard, but also Riverside Park as well, which is a fantastic park that borders the Hudson River. You have amazing views of the water. You could see all the way to New Jersey. So it's pretty much you take your pick of where you want to go. Coming up on the right-hand side is my personal favorite place to get breakfast anywhere in the city. Pretty much out of the all 5 boroughs in New York City. It's called Good Enough to Eat. But first, we'll check out this bagel shop, which is also pretty good. It's right next to Space Market, which is sort of like a corner store, a bodega that services the neighborhood. You have a lot of beautiful flowers here. But then you have H&H Bagels, which sits at 526 Columbus Avenue. This is a really good bagel spot. And right on the corner of West 85th Street and Columbus sits Good Enough to Eat, which is one of my favorite places to get breakfast anywhere in the city. They have options for indoor dining or outdoor dining. And it'll wrap around the entire block. Quickly take a walk. To the left, they set up additional outdoor seating space. And that's the inside of the restaurant. And you'll be dining right next to all these gorgeous brownstones. I love how they decorated this window with all of the greenery. Very nicely done. So remember, if you want to come here, it's on the corner of West 85th Street and Columbus. It's called Good Enough to Eat. Also to the right, you have Joe Coffee, which is a great coffee shop. There's a few more as we head down Columbus Avenue towards the Museum of Natural History. And all on the left side of Columbus Avenue, you have pretty much restaurant after restaurant here.
I'm going to therapy.
We have now reached West 83rd Street. If you turn down West 83rd, Jerry Seinfeld has his private garage where he keeps many of his vehicles there. I've seen him filming that show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, right off to the right. West 82nd Street, you're gonna have Ray's Pizza. But if I had to make a recommendation, I would go to Made in New York Pizza on the Upper West Side. I believe it's right on 80th Street. This is one of my favorite bookstores in the city. It's called The Strand, 450 Columbus Avenue. This is West 81st Street. We are now going to cross over to the left side. You'll see the Museum of Natural History and also a really good locally owned coffee shop called About Coffee. Really nice outdoor dining setup here. This is a great coffee shop. It's 445 Columbus Avenue.
He's the one who's supposed to be fed.
this is the Museum of Natural History, but if we continue to walk down a little bit and we go off to the left, they just opened the brand new exhibit and it looks really good. So all of the scaffolding is down. I believe it just opened this summer. So if you're visiting New York anytime soon, I would suggest to carve out maybe a few days, walk around the Upper West Side and spend some time at the new exhibit. I believe it's a butterfly exhibit. I think they have over 10,000 butterflies in the new exhibit, I believe. And it's just south of Theodore Roosevelt Park, which is where we're walking next to right now. I'll quickly give you a peek of what it looks like. It's kind of like you're looking at a painting almost. Okay, this is 79th Street. If you walk all the way down to Broadway, this is going to be one of the major subway stops on the Upper West Side. You can get the one train either up or downtown. Before we go any further, let's check out the brand new exhibit at the Museum of Natural History. This is all brand new, it just opened this year. I think the landscaping is very nice. And the architecture is very unique. For those interested, here is a list of the pricing. It looks like general admission for an adult is $25. Children is $14, and seniors or with your student ID is $20. Let me know what you think in the comments of how they did. I think they did a really good job. The landscaping is great. They keep it very clean. It's very welcoming and inviting. And it's still under construction, and I think it looks really great. I think the contrast in this shot is amazing. You have the shade on the sidewalk, and you have those really big white clouds in the sky, with the bright sunshine on the asphalt of the street. So if you make a right on 76th Street, this will take you all the way, or excuse me, a left, 76th Street. This will take you to the New York Historical Society, which borders Central Park.
We might
Right on the corner of West 73rd Street is one of my favorite coffee shops in the entire city. It's called Black Press Coffee. This place is always really crowded. You can even see some customers walking in now. This is one of the best coffee shops in the entire city, in my view. And it really gives a nice neighborhood community feel here on the Upper West Side. Everybody knows each other. When I used to live close here, I pretty much knew every single person who would frequent the coffee shop. You're going to make a left and go all the way down to Central Park West. We are going to see one of the most famous buildings, not only on the Upper West Side, but in the entirety of New York City. And it is called the Dakota. Now look at the architectural diversity and integrity of the neighborhood against the backdrop of New York City's Billionaires Row. You have all of the original pre-war buildings, and then in the distance, you have the massive, over 1,000 foot tall Central Park Tower that's down on 57th Street. You have a nice barber shop here. Now you can start to see the backdrop of Central Park. This is 72nd Street and Central Park West. This is one of the main entrances and one of the most famous entrances to Central Park, might I add, because you have strawberry fields right in front of us. Now this is one of the main entrances to the Dakota. You can see they still have the original gas lanterns here. Now, as we get to the corner, notice the contrast from the old architecture in New York to the new as we pan over to New York City's Billionaires Row. You can see 220 Central Park South, Central Park Tower, 157, and the Steinway Tower. And the Steinway Tower is the skinniest residential apartment building in the entire world. now headed towards Strawberry Fields, but I do want to point out one more building in between the tree line there. That is Harry Maclow's very famous 432 Park Avenue, which is one of the most exclusive and expensive residential condos in the entire world.
No, I'm gonna throw it away right now. Of who? Her or you?
We are now going to walk all the way down Central Park West to 59th Street, Columbus Circle. We are going to see some amazing buildings like 15 Central Park West and 1 Central Park West, which is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. But first, I'll give you one last look at the Dakota. We can now see Columbus Circle in the distance. As we approach West 67th Street. And there's one more shot of 432 Park Avenue in the distance. It's such a tremendous building. It can pretty much be seen from anywhere on the island. Now this building in the middle here, right there, is 157, and that was the first building that kicked off the trend of Billionaires Row. It was developed by Gary Burnett and Extel, and Extel also developed Central Park Tower. Now the triplex atop of Central Park Tower was on the market for about $250 million, but they just reduced the price by over $100 million. West 62nd Street This is 15 Central Park West. This is one of the most exclusive apartment condos in the entire city. And it sits right next to the Trump International Hotel and Tower at 1 Central Park West. You can see all of New York City's Billionaires Row. Okay, we've made it. This is the Trump International Hotel and Tower that sits 1 Central Park West. If you guys enjoyed that walking tour narrated by myself of the Upper West Side, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we will see you in the next virtual walking tour. Thanks for watching.